There are more male virgins than ever before. What I can say for sure is that in 2018, before the pandemic, so it's probably worse now, that 28% of adult men in the US from the ages 18 to 30 did not have sex in the previous year. And if you're wondering, it was 18% of women, which, maybe some of them even lied because they didn't want to sound like a slut. So maybe it's even less. But for women, it was 18. For men, it was 28. Not a surprise because women will be pursued, men usually won't. Um, and that is higher by like almost double, not quite, but it's like 80% higher or something from 2007. And if you think about it, what changed in that time? Well, what changed is social media got popular, video games got really fucking good, entertainment and porn got really good. And it became much easier if you're like alone, you don't have any girls in your life, you don't have any options. It's much easier now to have other outlets that sort of scratch the itch without it solving the underlying problem, right? So you have the option of subscribing to OnlyFans. You have the option of having friends on, Halo, or I guess now what's popular, like Overwatch or something, right? I mean, it's a fun game, but you have the option to avoid dealing with these problems in other ways, right? You can distract yourself infinitely and never be totally bored, right? Never have to think and just think, I have no women in my life. I should try approaching, right? I should try going out. I should try putting myself out there. That seems like a less obvious solution now. It's a less obvious thing to think. And because we're constantly distracting ourselves, I think we solve our problems a lot less. Because whenever we feel stressed and we feel like, I don't like this about my life or whatever, go to some form of stimulus, right? Whether it's Netflix, video games, whatever, doom scrolling on TikTok, those kinds of things. And that's one half of the reason, or a good percentage. And the other major reason I think men are having less sex is because online dating is kind of destroying men's self-esteem. Because what happens, even myself, when I used online dating in like 2017, 2018, I was already good at in-person game. So I didn't really feel I needed online dating, but I put my best picture, and it's my old YouTube main picture, if you remember that. I thought that was my best picture, was with a pro camera, with a pro photographer, but they were a nature photographer. They didn't know how to do portraits. So I thought it was a good picture, and it ended up getting no matches, or very few matches. Most of them were overweight, fake accounts, that kind of thing. And I thought, okay, well, I'm just not good looking enough for online, so I'm not going to do that, right? I don't need to. But if I was someone who wasn't already good at cold approach and I went through that, well, then what am I going to think? I'm going to think it's hopeless. I'm just ugly. Why even try? Right? I've been rejected. But what we fail to realize is that most of our pictures are like 10% the quality they could be for most men, for the vast majority. Your pictures probably suck ass. Just like mine did. And now my best pictures I have, one that one got rated by women later, a 5.1 out of 10, which is not good in attractiveness. That's like no matches. And then my best ones now, I have one that's a 9.6, one that's a 9.7, one that's a 9.3. I have a number of very good pictures because now I've been doing photography for 4 years now on boot camps. I've been taking pictures of clients, and then I get pictures of myself. And now I have very high quality pictures. And, if I make a new account, I've got like the 100+ matches in a day or two, right? And a lot of hot girl matches. I meet women in person much more than online. But it just shows the difference between an average picture and a really well curated with the right lighting, right facial expression, right everything. It's night and day. And we feel like it means you're ugly. It doesn't. It means your pictures make you look bad. And then most men are not going to go get pro photo shoots or go try approaching because they're like, oh, I'm ugly, I'm rejected. This is the normal way. This is how most people meet today. So I guess it's over for me and I am not going to try. Oh, the Sweet Waffles video came into my feed. That makes me feel so much better. I am a victim. Now, did I ever try cold approach? No. But online didn't work and I thought I had good pictures, and then they give up. All right. It's a very natural thing to fall into, which is sad. But as Metallica said, sad but true. That's kind of the current reality. So I think that's another major contributing factor. And then the third major contributing factor is just the culture of men bad, right? Toxic masculinity. And you'll hear it like whenever I'm unfortunate enough to be talking to someone who's like, super like a they, them or something. They're just a friend of a friend. they'll immediately start talking about, male privilege or whatever. There are people like that actually think that way. Of course, if you think about it, are they ever attractive women that think that way? No. You almost never are going to hear that from actual attractive women. So bear that in mind when you decide whether or not to let these ideas impact you or to believe them. The whole idea of approaching women is harassment or whatever. Uh, for some reason, it's never the hot girls that seem to think this way. So that's something to consider.